my team, here are the symptoms we have to work with. Atrophic vaginitis, balanitis, circinata, and Crohn's disease.
Atrophic vaginitis could point to a hormonal imbalance, while balanitis circinata suggests a possible infection. Crohn's disease could be causing inflammation and gastrointestinal issues.
I'm thinking it might be a combination of autoimmune and infectious causes. Maybe something like a rare immune disorder.
I agree with Leslie. It could be a complex condition involving multiple systems. Perhaps we should consider conducting more tests before jumping to conclusions.
I'm leaning towards a dermatological issue with systemic implications. We should approach this methodically and not rush into a diagnosis.
Enough. It's none of those. The patient is suffering from Kleeblatt-Shadel.
Klebla? What? I've never even heard of that before.
Exactly. That's why you're not in charge here. Now, all of you, we have to act fast. The treatment is diffusing alpha emitters radiation therapy.
But Dr. Hawks, that treatment is extremely risky. Are you sure it's the right course of action?
I'm sure. This is a matter of life and death. We have to take the risk. Now move. We don't have time to waste.
If I was in charge, we would probably get the right diagnosis first.
I'm not entertaining your failed attempts as a stand-up comic today. Treat the patient. You wanted to see me, Tracy?
Yes, Hawks. I heard you want to perform diffusing alpha emitters radiation therapy on a patient with Kleeblatt-Shadel. Where did you get such a stupid idea from?
I learned about this course of action from an old order Amish man who is an experienced veterinarian.
An old order Amish man. Experienced veterinarian. Let me guess, another excuse to bring Ohio up for whatever reason.
This is a coincidence, but yes, he was in Ohio. We got to talking about ways to treat patients. He told me all about how a horse had Kleeblatt-Shadel, so he borrowed a microwave to treat it.
Despite the fact he's old order Amish.
He uses solar panels. For some reason, they believe that's not electricity if it's harnessing power from the sun.
There's no way that's true.
You'd be surprised how bored they get with the whole we hate technology shtick after a while.
This treatment sounds absolutely irrelevant and unnecessary to the patient's health.
That man was not raised in a barn just to be told some modern doctor didn't believe in him.
You're an absolute idiot. This will fail, and you'll come here wondering just how this could go so wrong.
Shit. The patient is in critical condition. We need to act fast. What a surprise.
I can't believe Dr. Hawks insists on using diffusing alpha emitters radiation therapy. It's clearly not the right treatment for Kleeblatt-Shadel.
He really thought some Amish veterinarian would know what to do for Kleeblatt-Shadel.
Why do you think he asked?
Hawks thought some random guy who spoke in a language similar to German would know what Kleeblatt-Shadel is and how to treat it. Even stupider, the veterinarian likely wasn't even talking about it because Hawks butchered the pronunciation, so they talked about something completely different.
That's pretty idiotic.
No kidding. If the Amish man gave him bad advice, I can't imagine what damage Hawks did to him.
It's a bit funny to think Hawks probably recommended a craniectomy for the next time he has horse troubles.
That isn't funny. Unlike vehicles, you can't take a horse to a repair shop for much.
No, but you can grow horses unlike vehicles and make money doing so.
What if you're stranded in the middle of nowhere with a dead horse?
Hope you remembered to impregnate it before leaving.
I hate this conversation.
You imbeciles. I can't believe you nearly killed our patient with your incompetence. Kleeblatt-Shadel, are you kidding me? And diffusing alpha emitters radiation therapy. What were you thinking?
Hawks, we did our best with the information you gave us. What do you think the correct diagnosis is then?
I'll have to figure it out myself because clearly I can't rely on any of you morons. It's probably something so obvious that even a first-year med student could have diagnosed it.
What do you think Mr. Schwartzentruber will tell you this time?
Hopefully something about what he does with a bunch of idiots who don't pick up the slack when harvest is near.
But at Hawks,
You're all useless. Absolutely useless. I don't have time for this nonsense. Figure it out yourselves.
We'll do our best to make it right, Hawks.
I don't want to hear it. I'm done with all of you incompetence. I'll be in my office. Don't bother me unless you have a real medical emergency to deal with.
Hey Hawks, Randall and I had trouble figuring this puzzle out. If you're truly Amish, no phones or fun or anything, and you're stranded in the middle of nowhere with a dead horse, what do you do?
What does that have to do with anything?
It doesn't, Gary. Just shut the hell up.
Okay, I'll tell you. So, you know how you usually have a spare tire in your car unless you sell it to make next week's rent?
Do you somehow think a dead horse can just spontaneously birth a brand new one of comparable strength? That's a new high of stupid for you. I'm not even convinced you graduated kindergarten and you somehow won your medical license from a cereal box sweepstakes program. I'm out. I can't stop thinking about this one patient of mine, Johnson. It's like every time I get close to figuring it out, it slips away.
I know what you mean, Hawks. It can be frustrating sometimes, but that's the challenge we signed up for in this field.
Yeah, you're right. How are things in the oncology department? Any progress with your patients?
Actually, we've had some promising results with a new treatment plan. It's been really rewarding to see some positive outcomes.
That's great to hear, Johnson.
Wait, what? Hawks, where are you going? You can't just leave me hanging like this.
I have to go check on my patient, Johnson. I'll catch up with you later. Thanks for the chat.
Rare autoimmune disorder?
That's none of your business what I have. I've cracked it, folks. Kleeblatt was off the mark. It's mycetoma.
Oh, that's brilliant. No safety gear whatsoever and a new diagnosis.
Who did you consult with for this new diagnosis? A dentist who joins conspiracy theory groups filled with architects?
Nah, that's next week's excuse. Trust me on this one. I discussed it with Dr. Johnson over lunch. Mycetoma is the right diagnosis.
All right, fine. What's the prognosis then, Hawks? Enlighten us.
Prognosis. It's not looking good. Tell me that requires immediate attention.
Well, I'll be damned. Looks like we have a real medical detective on our hands here.
Just doing my job, folks. Now let's get to work and save a life.
Seems like just about anything fits your criteria for a done job, even if it means being a clueless fool until 4:50 in the afternoon.
It takes years of experience to get to Hawk's level, Leslie. Don't downplay his accomplishments.
My ass isn't free to kiss, Gary. Just treat the goddamn mycetoma already. I can't believe they got the diagnosis wrong. Mycetoma, not Kleeblatt.
Congratulations, Hawks. You found the right diagnosis for the patient.
If only my doctors were qualified to read anything above the level for a Garfield comic, maybe we'd be in a better spot.
You spent this morning trying to convince me that some old order Amish veterinarian could help you out on a Kleeblatt case.
Turns out he was wrong, too. It turns out that Kleeblatt is Pennsylvania Dutch for mycetoma, and it got lost in translation.
That's a load of shit, Hawks.
You don't speak it. How would you know?
Because German for mycetoma would sound closer to the English word Kleeblatt translates to clovely skull.
Whatever. I'll bring that up with him next time I'm on vacation. Right now, I have to get to the bottom of a very pressing question. If you travel by horse and it dies in the middle of nowhere, but you have no way of communicating with technology, what do you do?
You live in the middle of nowhere alone with a horse in the first place, at least in the 21st century.
I don't buy that answer. Anyway, I've got to go.
What's the rush?
I literally have to see a man about a horse.